risk, whatever. All right, we're going to get right into it. The guy that is supposedly number one as far as our winners, but maybe not. Ryan Fitzpatrick, from out of the league to top 10 QB, upside with a lot of other nonsense going on. I mean, Fitzpatrick, I saw a stat on him the other day. He's thrown 25 touchdown passes in a season once in his career.
And that's it?
Yeah, once.
I think he's going to destroy that this year. I think he is by far single-handedly, in terms of just like where he started and where he now sits, entering free agency versus now, the biggest sheer winner. Now, this is not a list of in terms of most impactful moves. Like Fitzmagic is still a late-round QB. It's not like he's going to shatter the fantasy landscape, but I really think he could be that late-round QB that just dominates for players this year. There's just so much to love about this spot. One, just Fitzmagic himself. And what shocks me about that stat, Nat, is how good this guy has been in fantasy if he hasn't been chucking the TDs. Listen to this one. In 2019, this is sad. This stat just blows my mind. In 2019, once he took over as the full-time guy in week 7, you know how him and like Josh Rosen were flip-flopping? It was disgusting. And
Josh Rosen. I really liked Rosen that draft year.
Did not end up panning out for him. Ultimately, from week 7 on, only Lamar Jackson scored more fantasy points than Ryan Fitzpatrick from that point on, which is just mind-blowing. And it's not really just like a mirage of just 1 to 2 huge games that really lifted him up. He has been pretty damn steady over his last 18 full starts with the Dolphins. He's been a top 12 QB and topped 22 fantasy points in 12 of those 18 games. So 66% of those. He's only been outside the top 24 just once. So it's not even just like boom or bust. He's been pretty steady. Even when he like doesn't hit those top 12 numbers, he's still doing relatively well. So the floor is decently high. The ceiling's been high. And this was in Miami with pure shit to throw to. Parker, Gesicki, Preston Williams, Myles Gaskin. Who cares about them when you got now Terry McLaurin, Antonio Gibson, Curtis Samuel now added to that weapons cabinet? Logan Thomas was a top 4 tight end last year. So you get that weapons cabinet, check. Then you get the 8th most pass attempts in the leagues last year compared to the 18th, check. 10th fastest pace compared to the 26th fastest place. 9th most plays run versus the 20th. I mean, the list just goes on and on from a talent, from an offensive scheme perspective. All of this is panning out. So we've seen him do it. Now we're going to see him in an even better environment. And you know he's going to cost you absolutely nothing. Like, you're not risking your entire fantasy season to draft Ryan Fitzmagic. You're taking him in your last round, and you're probably getting yourself a top 10 guy. And who's better to root for than Ryan fucking Fitzpatrick when that beard is just flowing down? He's finding like the smallest cornerback on the field just to truck over. And you just love it. You just fucking love everything about Ryan Fitzpatrick. So I'm stoked about this. He by far is the biggest like single riser in terms of not even on my big board to now in the top 100, top 15 QBs. Love him.
I'll give you this. I do really like pulling for the guy. I've pulled for him everywhere he's ever been. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know. That seems almost universal. So obviously I know I'm not alone. There's just something about the guy that makes you want to pull for him. I also, I mean, from a real football standpoint, I mean, Washington has a pretty good defense too. I mean, they could be sneaky good next year.
Absolutely.
Not that I would ever pull for them as a team, but yeah, they could be all right.
I would love to see that too, right? If that defense and Fitzmagic just becomes the perfect combination, like they're a fun team to root for.
It might be hard not to pull for them, actually.
I'd like to see that happen. Yeah, absolutely. I'm with